And a lot of us are realizing that we are on the spectrum in some way, shape, or form, whether it's ADHD, ADD, OCD. A lot of us have very much something. And I couldn't help but think about like if we have this and we have the connections, we have the ability to now do something about it and figure out, okay, so where do we go from here? Because we've been struggling. A lot of us have been struggling because we aren't, we're built different. We're built different. That's just like, we are built different. We are Africans. We are black. Our energy is different, and the way society is set up, it's not. So it's like we're trying to figure out like, do we get medicated? Or a lot of us are probably feeling like, well, I made it this far without needing any medication, so I might as well just keep on fucking raw dogging the shit out of life, right? And to each their own. But I can't help but to also think like, fuck, if like I realizing this and a lot of us are realizing we're on the spectrum and shit like that, imagine our parents. Imagine our parents. Because I be thinking about mine. I'm like, ooh, like if I have a lot of these issues or like ADHD and OCD, I'm thinking about parents. I'm like, oh, y'all definitely have it. Y'all definitely have something. Y'all definitely have something because it's passed down. I think about my sister. I'm like, okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. Like where we struggled, and it's even hard because you see other kids, and you're like, okay, but why does this person have this, or why are they like this? Why are they able to focus better than me? I think it's also because of the parenting style and how like hands-on parents are, and I think when you have a two-parent household, obviously it's easier. And then you also have parents who have graduated college or went to whatever the case may be. I think they instill that focus, making your kids read every day and for an hour every day. And like my mom was a single mom, so she didn't have time for all that. She couldn't really, because she works nights, she come back in the morning and she's sleeping all day. So she really don't have time to make sure we're reading for an hour. And all those things, you cultivate focus when you do that. When kids are forced to study, when kids are forced to read, you cultivate focus. And I think that's why a lot of us are able to have that focus and don't really struggle with that because it was like trained when you were younger. But like me, who didn't have that, like it was hard. It was hard because I was talking all the time in school. I was playing around. I couldn't focus. Teachers loved me, but they couldn't stand me because I'm always yapping. I'm always flapping my gums. I'm always walking around class. My mom will always get calls and reports, and like teachers would even tell her like, your kid is amazing. Like he's a good kid. I was never disrespectful, right? Maybe like I've had incidents, but it's like because I'm just trying to be like cool or whatever. But I wasn't a disrespectful child. I was just ADHD. I just was always energized. I couldn't sit still. So it's hard now because I'm still struggling with it. And so when I'm thinking about myself, I'm also thinking about like, well, today was the first time I really thought about it. And I'm like, damn, bitch, like a lot of people are just walking around undiagnosed. And it's crazy because it's like, how can all these people have, but it's because of how society is set up. That's just literally what it is. And when you're doing the work and unlearning a lot of things, you kind of have to like think about your parents, and you start to understand better like, oh, this is like genetics. And like you think about how, like I think about how my parents act, and like my mom, and she's like never able to like just stick on one thing forever. She's like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And like she does do the things, but she never like sees it all the way through. So I'm just like, imagine if our parents just got medicated. Like a lot of our parents are just walking around undiagnosed. And I think they need it even more than we do. Yeah, so because a lot of our parents are traumatized. We think we're traumatized. Imagine our parents and the shit that they had to go through. And it sucks because now they pass it on to us, and it sticks. It sticks more than it's like a lot of our parents, even though like they're still dealing with it. They're still dealing with the trauma that their parents put them through, the things that their parents did. So imagine us. And I just wish like they were more empathetic. I think African parents lack empathy. I don't know what it is. They just lack empathy for their children. But I wish African parents had more empathy and were more empathetic, because like you went through that. So why would you be putting your child through the same thing that you went through? It doesn't make sense. But like for some reason, I always feel like it's our job to be the bigger person and like forgive and understand, and it's fine. But it's hard when like they don't want to understand, when they don't want to be the parents. Like I don't want to be the parent. But like, unfortunately, someone has to. But yeah, I just think a lot of our parents are undiagnosed and they need to probably be medicated, truthfully. And there's a stigma behind medication. Even me, I'm trying to undo that stigma myself because it's there, you know? I'm trying not to think bad about it. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I think a lot of our parents need help for sure.